Yo, what's up everyone? So I've been asked a few times recently how I set up my workstation, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly that and explain a little bit the reasons why I do things the way that I do. Before I start, I just want to say that all artists do things a little bit different, and there isn't really a right or wrong way on doing this. However, this is best and most practical way that I've found. So if you do things totally different, then please add it into comments. I'd love to see how other people do things. Also, if you're just beginning your tattoo journey, I would definitely recommend watching this video over and over and following along. Before you ever start tattooing real life customers, setting up and cleaning down your tattoo station is the absolute basics and should feel like second nature. So if you keep following along to this video until it feels like you don't really have to think about it anymore, the main thing is repetition. Learn, make, repeat. Hey, I'm Ben Fisher, a UK sponsored artist based right here in Wakefield. On this channel, we'll be posting videos about tattoo aftercare, tips for tattooing, tattoo courses, plus much more. You'll learn things like how to look after your tattoo, right through to tips, tricks and tools to take you from beginner to pro for all you up and coming artists. If you're watching this video on YouTube, naturally you don't want to miss any of my most important content, so be sure to go check out the rest of my videos, subscribe, hit that notification bell and check out my Facebook page. And if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you give the page a like, give this video a thumbs up and hit that share button, and I'll be putting the links to both my YouTube channel and the Facebook page in the description or comments below this video. Enjoy. So first things first, always give your hands a really good wash and dry. Make sure you wash right up to your elbows as well. Next step is gloves on. Now I know a few artists don't wear gloves whilst they're setting up the workstation. However, I just think it's cleaner, safer and just good practice to always have gloves on when you're doing anything in the area where you tattoo. Now I always use Black Cobra gloves unless my customer has a known allergy to latex. Now over the years I've lost count how many different brands of gloves that I've used, and these are by far the most comfy gloves that I've ever found. When you're in a busy studio and working long hours, you start to appreciate smaller differences a lot more. So if you've never tried these gloves, I'd definitely recommend them. I always get mine from Jungle Tattoo Supplies, which is a UK based tattoo supply company that's run by a great set of blokes, and they really do help you out wherever they can. So go check them out. Okay, so now we're ready to start setting up this area. The third step is wrap your station surface in cling film or foil. Here at Inkrush we use cling film. It's a cheap, easy to use and goes in bin after. Okay, so we do this for a few reasons. One, because it helps keep the work surface area clean, but it also makes stripping down phase later a lot easier and quicker, which we'll be covering later on in this video. Next, we need 2 plastic cover bags. Again, I use Jungle for these bags as well. Now, the first one I use to cover my power supply. The reason we cover power supply simply is again to stop any cross-contamination. When you're tattooing someone, your hands are going to be covered in ink, tattoo butter and blood. Then you start messing with your power supply and all those substances are now on power supply, which if you're not cleaning it off correctly could then be passed to either you or another customer. Now later the power supply gets all cleaned, however having it in a bag just helps and gives it almost a second layer of protection. Then we cover wash bottle as well. Now I use green soap concentrate to wash down. However, I always use a secret ingredient as well. When I fill my wash bottle, I also pour about half a bottle of Bactine in there as well. This just helps take edge off a little for customer, but it also helps prevent the tattoo becoming red, which I find helps me work dramatically. I know a lot of tattoo artists don't do this because it ends up costing a decent bit and you go through a few bottles a week, which almost adds to your monthly expenses. But I always say focus on the tattoo, not the money, and the money will come as a result. Next, we need a cable cover, which goes over cable like so. Now, I use a pen style machine, so I also use this sleeve to push up and over the back end of the machine. Depending on what machines you use, just check the best way to correctly cover them. Again, to help stop any cross-contamination. Grip wrap. The next step I do is wrap the grip of my machine with grip tape. Now this in my eyes is a hugely important because it's got a list of benefits. So if it's not something that you currently do, then I definitely recommend giving it a try. If you already use grip tape, please leave a comment. What do you think? Because for me, I find it stops your hands slipping about, and because of extra thickness in the grip, it just feels so much comfier. And for those that suffer from shaky hands, this will be a massive help as well. One of the best benefits of using grip tape though is because of all that extra thickness and cushioning, it almost completely eliminates the vibration at machine in the hand. Now I don't know about you, but as a tattooist, your hands are the most important body part. So anything that helps look after them is a definite must in my eyes. Next is to lay out the needles that you'll be using. If you're new to tattooing and not 100% about needles and would love to learn more, then go watch my video, Tattoo Needles Explained, where I cover everything that you need to know about needles in an easy to understand, simple way. Next is use a decent blob of tattoo butter to use during tattoo process. I've just switched from Hustle Butter to Yayo. For anyone looking for a great product to use, Yayo is definitely at the top of my recommendations. The UK based, and to be honest, I love all the product range. Maybe in future I'll do a video all about their products, so if that's something that appeals to you, then just add it into comments as well. Next is ink cups. Now I always scoop a little bit of Yayo onto the bottom side of the cup. It just helps it stick down and helps prevent it from tipping over. Now I only do black and grey tattoos as a rule of thumb, so my setup's almost the same for every single tattoo. If you're interested in seeing gear and setup that I use when doing black and grey realism, then make sure you go check out the rest of my videos. Typically I'll set out 5 caps, black, dark grey wash, medium grey and light, and then lastly white, but that's all explained fully in another video. Next is 2 cups of rinsing water. First one is just used for rinsing any blacks, and the second is purely when doing white highlights at end. Don't be trying to use whites and then rinsing in the cup that you've used for black. It just mixes with white and leaves you with a pale grey that just ruins your tattoo. Add a handful of pre-torn tissue to wipe the excess ink away and keep the area clean. Make sure you have enough to complete the tattoo from start to finish. A Sharpie pen for adding any freehand details you need or backgrounds, some scissors, a razor to shave your customer, some rubbing alcohol, which I use to clean and prepare the skin before applying stencil, and then some stencil stuff. Now I've tried tons of different products to use for applying stencil, and I've always come back to using this, which I'll be covering in a future video. So if you want advice on how to get the best stencil that lasts and don't wipe away and all bleed out when you apply, just make sure that you hit that subscribe and little bell so you're notified when I upload new unmissable content. And then lastly, the inks of your choice. Now this is how my station looks before we start the tattoo. Needles are left sealed so the customer can see that they're brand new, and I only open these just before we actually start tattooing. Likewise with the inks, I only pour these out just before we start the tattoo. Okay, so customer comes in. First thing I do is prepare the skin by giving a good shave and clean. Then we apply stencil. While stencil's drying, I remove everything that's no longer needed on workstation. Scissors, Sharpie, razor, cleaning alcohol and stencil stuff. Then we get ready to do tattoo. We open needles in front of customer again. to give them peace of mind that everything we use is brand new and sterile. Then we pour out inks that we need. Now I don't pour whites out until later on because I don't want them to be sat there unused for hours at a time, which I'll explain in a minute. Then we remove bottles and empty packets from workstation. Okay, so what do we do if during tattoo process we need to pour more inks or grab some more tissue? Well, at this stage, everything that we've been using now is potentially contaminated with customers' blood, including our gloves, which means we can't just start grabbing fresh, clean bottles or tissues because they'd now be contaminated and could then be passed on to other people. So before touching anything that's outside the work area, we first need to remove our gloves, clean the hands, and then reapply some new clean gloves. Now it's safe to top anything up that you need, making sure that you don't touch anything that's already on the workstation and has any chance of contamination. After you finish your tattoo, it's now time to clean down your work area. First thing we do again is clean set of gloves and then just start cleaning up, removing everything. I start by disposing of alt needles. Here in UK we use a yellow sharps bin, however just check on rules depending on where you're based. Next I've removed the bag off wash bottle and putting it to one side, followed by the bag on power supply and the cable cover. Then remove rinsing cups. Again here in UK we have to have a separate sink that's used just for anything that's contaminated, but check the rules where you're based as they may be different. Then remove grip tape from machine and place to one side. Now just fold everything up within the cling film or foil and dispose of it in clinical waste bin. Now, although everything that we've used is covered up with bags or wraps, we still need to clean everything down. Follow manufacturer's guidelines and clean your machine. Then clean your entire workstation. We use Trigene to clean everything, the power supply, RCA cord, wash bottle, and the entire workstation itself. Also your tattoo bed or armrest. And also I always use this to clean floor around where I've been working. And that's it, that's basically everything that we do when setting up, making alterations, pouring more stuff out, and then finally fully stripping down and making sure everything's clean. And then there we go again. We're set up, ready for the next customer. I hope that you found this video both useful and helpful, and I'm glad to have shown you a little bit on the way I do things. But if you do have any questions, then please feel free to drop them in comments and I'll do my very best to answer them. Don't miss out on the rest of my videos. I'm really trying to grow my channel by giving you best information I can, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash that little bell so you don't miss out on any future content. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.